This spoiler card may be the last time you may hear this, because I feel like it is very repetitive and etc. because I am just copying the same one every time. But this video will talk about the end of part 2. Spoilers for season 2. Part 2, sorry. And yeah, if you guys haven't been aware, Comic-Con had come out a couple days ago, and they had a Ninjago panel. They teased the trailer for Ninjago Dragons Rising Part 2. However, Peacock decided to release all the episodes all at once, and it was like, grinding your teeth. However, I have rewatched Dragons Rising several times, Part 2, sort of because my mind is not really in a relaxed state at the moment. Mainly because Part 2 did come out at a quick pace time, but Part 2's ending and sort of story is differently paced to Part 1 or Season 1 in general, and it's something I'll talk about in a future video. But today we're discussing the end of the series, the last episode of Part 2, the end of Season 2. So let's discuss. Sora winning the tournament is something that I think was really done correctly. Now, Dragons Rising Season 1 to 2 is a Sora story in a way. If you look, it's not like how it originally used to be in Ninjago in the first 7 seasons, how it would be one main character's specific season. It's not like that anymore. It really does actually focus on all the characters, but like even Lloyd points out, the focus so far has sort of been on her. The whole training and all this sort of stuff has been is she capable of controlling her power? Remember in Part 1, did she even have that element? Was it even hers? Her unlocking her true potential at the end of that, in a way, in Part 2 of Season 1. And in Season 1, she is capable of using her power, but at the same time, she does feel useless, because these Wolf Warriors are technology-based. And her learning Spinjitzu is sort of a faculty of difficulty, because she doesn't even know how to incorporate the moves to start it. But hence, she is getting somewhere in her training, unlike Eren has. And to be honest, I think it is, like Lloyd said, all Lloyd's words to Sora in this moment is pretty much what any of us could talk about. She's capable of controlling her element. At the start of the show, she wasn't. She didn't even know she was ever capable, but she knew how to use the elements that she was given while winning in the tournament. She knew how to use them properly. Even when she doubted herself to use a smoke power, she used it perfectly, using Lloyd's sort of advice that has been given from Eren as well. But Lloyd gave her the advice as, don't do what every other elemental master does with their element. For example, don't do what Cole does with his Earth power, or what Frack does with his Quake power. What does Sora bring to the table that's different to them? I think that is something that the Ninja haven't really ever learned, but has always probably been there for them. What makes them different to their ancestors? What makes them different? I know Hands of Time definitely had that mention for Kai and Nia, even when their parents went, in quote-unquote, rogue. What makes them different to their parents? What makes them different is they will fight for Master Wu. They won't be intimidated. They will do what's good for Ninjago in this new world. And I think this whole thing has sort of come full circle for the Ninja, especially Lloyd, is what makes Lloyd different to his own father and the situations that he's been in to his father, his uncle, and the first Reuniting Master. He won't make the same mistakes as they did, but if he does make a mistake, he will fix it and not wait 40 years like his uncle did, or his father waited several decades to start his plans of being evil, I guess. Sora's arc, to be honest, has been so far amazing, and I'll talk a bit about Eren at the end of it, because that's really end stuff. But yeah, I'm not really going to talk about Wildfire and Robbie. That's a separate video. But Sora and Lloyd's dynamic master-student is really great. So yeah, easily a bit of a tearjerker for me. I don't know about many of you. When Nia first got her connection back to her brother Kai in Neverspace, I sort of teared up, because she had already been through a lot. She was going through hell at this point, and I believe she also just had lost her power. which we have no clue how the story would have panned out if Jay or Kai did not have anything to do in this point. But I've got to say, yeah, her whole fight in this tournament is something I do want to talk about in another video separately. Also, I do want to say, I don't care what the other ninja were wearing this whole tournament. I close my eyes and I can't tell you what the rest of the ninja were wearing. Maybe Sora and Aaron, but or Wildfire. But Nia's suit stood out, man. I can't tell you how good her suit is. But I've got to say just one thing. Where her arc is in this season is absolutely cool. I do admit seeing her fight Jay was absolutely amazing. But this ending part where you hear when Kai says straight back when they get connection with Ryu, that Nia says straight away. No, Nia says that she had the fight with Jay and everything that happened. Kai's like, well, maybe this might be a good thing for Jay if he doesn't remember who he is and he's a different person. Not that it would be a good thing that he obviously doesn't remember the ninja and all that stuff, but if he's a different person, that might be a good thing. Obviously, that's Kai being a joking brother-in-law, being sort of an asset like that. But Kai is not being honest there, but he's being a supportive brother. And when he gets Kai back, you can tell the first thing Kai basically says to her when it mentioned of Jay, he's like, yeah, we're going after him. And I have to say, I never thought I would hear that from Kai's mouth. And I think that is a reasonable thing. I know Kai will have to admit to Nia he has had the wolf mask on when the gong has hit. But I'm really hoping they get down to it. And I am now hoping to see Kai fight Jay. Because honestly, I was hoping that would happen in the tournament. I knew it was going to be an unlikely situation. Mainly it was hype for Nia or Cole to fight Jay. But this is something I do see. I would definitely like to see a series of shorts of Jay. I did a video talking about the whole evil Jay story yesterday. But hence, I'm actually really happy with how Nia's arc went to get Kai back as well. There was sort of a missing plot point because she was captured by Jordana when she was possessed. Jordana was possessed by rocks. That was definitely a missed opportunity. They could have done something on the screen there. But having Ryu and Nia using that same connection that Sora and Ryu were doing in Season 1 just goes to amplify Ryu's character as well. And I'll do a whole video when I start getting my head around everything that happened in Season 2. Because there is a lot that happened in Season 2 that obviously is building blocks for a future season. Again, something else I do want to talk about in that video, how everything feels like a build-up to a future season instead of a finalizing part. What happened in part 1, which getting Kai back, they could have taken multiple directions. I do like how they got Kai back. That is an amazing way with how Ryu powers Nia up to open up the same portal that all the elements can do, if that makes sense. I still understand that, but it does have actual headcanon and it makes sense in the show, but I can't fully describe it to you. But that was Nia and Kai's little story, and that's where they end off. And I'm hoping that when we get special clips in January next year, that it is either a Jay story or Nia and Kai going to find Jay. So yeah, the Soul Dragon Motion does come back, and she does tell Lloyd, thank you for winning. You did very well, and you proved your worthiness as a master. This does give Lloyd a bit more confidence, but at the same time, this, by default, breaks down a bit of a slight issue, in my opinion, on what comes next. She gives him this blade, and this blade is what Lord Roz... The blade wasn't what Lord Roz wants, but that they call it a specific name, and Lord Roz, I think he's a smart character. He has 3 different sort of plans in this series so far. If I've got to break them down, it was either to work with Beatrix and then betray her, when he got his master back, or either work with these wolf warriors and bring back the Forbidden Five to obviously help with the plan. This is why I'm not going to talk about all the villains in this area, only because their plans are all jumbled up. I do not believe anyone has a plan, and even the Source Dragon Motion says, well, you disrupted their plans. They don't have plans. Well, they do, we just don't know of them. The Forbidden Five are obviously going to come back. We don't know next season. No, Lord Raz will, because he's in sets, and where Aaron's story leaves off, which is the last thing we'll talk about, and will be the next thing as well. But it's just interesting in all this stuff, how everything's like sort of mushed together at the end, in my opinion. It's just like, this is the thing, like, similar thing to what Lord Raz needs. Oh no, they're called, Dragon Icons. That's what sort of the blade is. So Lloyd can use it sort of like what Jay did in Prime Empire to call upon that dragon, but only once. I really hate that they only mentioned it only once. Why not give them 3 or 4 chances? Or why don't you just come on your own merit? That's funny. But yes, we also do learn there's much more of a threat now to the Source Dragons than there was. But hence, again, my opinion is simply this. The Source Dragon Emotion could have done a bit more this season. She does towards the end, admittedly. But everything that comes across with the dragons just happens a bit too fast, and it happens a bit too quick. Yes, the whole killing the matriarch dragon is a dark tone, but I don't think the highlight was highlighted enough. I actually can't even remember what happened to the baby dragon, because I think a better plot arc would have been the ninja take care of that baby dragon and do something with it. But I don't know. The first couple episodes kind of confuse me when they get to the tournament. But hence, I don't really mind where they're going with this. I do just believe this part was mainly building blocks to something bigger. So, yeah. So, I don't want to bag me in the comments below, but part 2 didn't really end the best for Eren. Again, I do believe Eren's arc to be very difficult, and it felt very difficult for me to understand and feel, because not does, like, I believe the thing for the ninja is there's a lot going on for all of them. Nia is missing his brother, her brother, and her Yang. He's her boyfriend. Cole and Zane are missing, obviously, Bunzel and Kai, and Lloyd's got that same attribute, but at the same time, Lloyd is also needing to train, obviously, Sora, Eren, and Wildfire. At the same time, Nia's other issue is Wildfire is sort of out of control, so that's each ninja's difficulty to take care of her. At the same time, Zane and Cole have been in a tournament like this where it hasn't really ended the best for them in terms of tournament of elements. Hence, I don't think Lloyd will have an issue. He sort of won the last one. Hence, why would you be afraid to enter another one? Even Nia has that issue. Why are we going to do this again? Tournament of Elements style. But hence, Eren's character just goes off the rails, and you start to see it as soon as he does his investigating. First of all, Lord Raz tells him all the truth. He doesn't cap with him at all, which I do find odd. But then again, Eren's arc starts off actually interesting, especially when they see Jay. He does mention that, like, holy shit, could Jay be the Jay Walker in the administration? Like, putting 2 and 2 together. But, like, you'd think a fan would know the ninja's last name, especially one of the ones that was on broadcast on TV, and he used to say, my name's Jay Walker, and all that sort of stuff. You wouldn't go to figure that, would you? I don't know. I feel like Eren's fanboyness isn't very high as us Ninjago fans, but at the same time, I do believe that Eren, then after he sees Lord Raz, and starts learning Refract, and starts trying to do the spinjitzu like how he does, is just odd. It is really odd. I do admit once he's learned Spijutsu, he is powerful, and he does even say in episode 20 that, yeah, this is really powerful. So there has to be more to Eren than what leads on, even though the writers do say he doesn't have an elemental power. There has to be a bit of stuff that lead... There's something that is there for Eren, but I do not think he's going to get granted for whatever it is. Hence, he could be going down a Moro arc and Lord Ra's arc, but I feel like Moro was more redeemable at that point. Lord Ra's, however, has literally gone up by the tongue. Whatever Jane knew, Lord Ra's knew. He knew a lot. Admittedly, I do think if I was in Eren's position, and depending on you as the fan, I don't know how you would go. Every time Eren's got a promise from Lloyd, which is always seemed to be broken, that is another thing he's pissed off about, plus Sora keeping that secret about using the powers, and Sora explains why. In my fairness, as a person, I would totally understand that reason. Yeah, we just lost Kai. What? You're gonna just let your friend fail? She saw it happen. Nothing happened. So, what was it gonna take? Just more failure? I do believe that Sora was doing it in the good books. I feel like Eren needs to see different points of view and not... I don't like to use this word because I don't believe Eren to be selfish, but this part he does sound selfish, and you can see him act a lot like a child. And I don't know. I don't like how Eren just went like that. It is good for his character. And you can tell he's jealousy when he sees his best friend Frack get power, so yeah, I don't know, man. It was very interesting. I like seeing them sort of work together, but you can tell he's going to do whatever it takes to protect Lord Raz. And I'm going to like to see where this goes, because this ain't going to be like how Jordana was at the start of season 2. It's going to be a lot different, and I'm looking forward to that. But hence, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I don't know where Eren's going to go. I do believe he's just going to go evil. I do believe that. I do not see him getting along with the ninja or Master, especially when Master tells him the truth. I know it's going to... And even Zane says to him. And I don't even believe Eren replies back to Zane when he says, this obviously will be a lot for someone to understand, especially Lloyd. You gotta give someone the benefit of the doubt here. If they didn't know about it, you gotta let them process it, and I don't think Eren's going to let the ninja process it. And I think him being obviously away from the team gives him a lot of time. But hence, in the comments, let me know your thoughts about the ending. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out.